Hello and welcome to the intro to our Realise podcast. What I wanted to do is give you a bit of background about myself and my fitness journey, a bit of background about how I came to be where I am now and how I came into the industry, and then give you, thirdly, just a brief insight into what our podcast is going to be all about and what we're going to cover with that. My background, so my name is Greg Lennox. I am the owner, founder of Realise Fitness. And my background getting into fitness, as a youngster, I've always enjoyed sport. Even now, I can sit and watch most sports and enjoy it. But back growing up, always enjoyed football, played a bit of football, but my big passion was rugby. My old man took me and brother down to the local rugby club when I was 7, and I played pretty much from under 7s all the way through to when I was mid-30s. I'm married with kids, and when the family started coming in and those commitments, I started to play less and less. But yeah, a good sort of over 28 years of rugby. What inspired me in terms of, that sport, in terms of what inspired me to get into the gym, sort of the age I am, all the action heroes and everything of the time. You're looking at your Arnold Schwarzeneggers, your Jean-Claude Van Dammes, the muscles from Brussels. You've got Sly Stallone, all these action heroes. I remember watching and thinking, oh my goodness me, they just looked amazing, the shape they were in. There's a scene, Predator from 1988. There's a scene where Arnie's character meets Carl Weathers, and they literally meet up and they have an floating in the air arm wrestle, and the guns on them were just phenomenal. I was like, oh my, I need to get to the gym. So that's what first inspired me to the gym, and then link that up with rugby as well. The collisions that you take in rugby, the contact sport it is, you've got to get lifting the weights. So that sort of got me started, and then rugby probably kept me involved in all that. And then fast forward 30 years on, I suppose, in terms of my fitness, I'm still training now. I absolutely love it. We've probably gone from me starting out trying to look a certain way and the aesthetics and building that muscle to look defined or whatever. And now I think I'm in fairly good shape for sort of 40s. I probably have a more rounded training regime than I did have. It was all about just lifting heavy as you can back in the day. I still like lifting heavy, still like feeling strong, but it's all about movement. Shout out to my coach. I think although I coach people and personal train people, I think it's pretty important that everybody has their own coach. A guy called Andy McKenzie from Combined Strength. I definitely give him a look up on socials. I bet I've been coached by him for the best part of 5 years, mainly online through an app, and he sends me my workouts, and it just takes that stress off. And that's kept me, I can't really underestimate how good that's been for me. I've had moments, don't get me wrong, I've had moments throughout over 20 years that I've been training where I've lacked a bit of motivation at times as well, like we all do. But I can't remember now, it's few and far between, I can't remember not wanting to train for the past, and that a lot of that is down to Andy actually, so thanks to Andy for that. So that's my fitness. Again, sort of diet-wise. So I knew how to train myself. Diet-wise, obviously trying to put on that size and size for rugby, but also try and keep speed and stuff. So there was definitely an element of nutrition in there as well. So I've sort of worked with all that. In terms, moving on to part 2. My background into the industry. So like I say, going out through all my sort of childhood and growing up, there was definitely an interest in, the sport and working out and training. Um, I remember at college, did fairly well with my GCSEs, and then it was a time of like, what's the next step? I don't think in my head I had too much direction. I wasn't thinking about becoming a PT or a coach. And at the time, the college we were at, a lot of my friends were doing A-levels. So, I may as well follow suit. Unfortunately, my college didn't do anything like PE or, a sports A-level. But I really enjoyed the sciences. I did quite well in biology, loved all that kind of stuff, especially animal biology. So I just picked the sciences, did okay with that again, and actually then started looking, because again, everybody else was going to uni. So what could I study at uni? And it was just, my passion for sport and my love of the sciences, put them both together, and that made me apply for a sports science degree at Coventry University. So went over to there, 3 years at uni, where we pretty much covered, all the exercise science, all the physiology. We did, sports nutrition. There was lab work as well that we did like once a week for a couple of hours. We were testing in the lab, but also the way the body moves, biomechanics, sports psychology as well. So it gave me a really good grounding, but really an in-depth grounding in pretty much everything. So the theory was there, and obviously I'm still playing rugby at this time as well. Did a bit for uni, but throughout that time I got into the Hinckley first team. So training myself was a big thing. So getting the theory from uni and being able to apply that to myself and training was really good. So the next step for me when I graduated was then to actually get on the shop floor and start my grounding in how to effectively teach and coach somebody. So it was really building up that conversation, being able to converse with somebody and being able to communicate how to do things correctly, exercise, and sorting out workout plans for people. 3 years at a health and fitness place called The Fields in my hometown, Hinckley. Learned a heck of a lot, and it just reinforced the fact that actually I really enjoyed training people, coaching people, pushing people, getting the best out of them, and getting them into shape. And along that, I then carried on the learning process, doing courses, did sort of a couple of PT courses, nutrition courses, classes. And then we sort of got to 3 years in there, and I decided, you know what, I really want to go into personal training. I'd done all the gym instructor stuff, and it was really just that working with somebody on a one-to-one, a one-to-two, and the classes I was enjoying, and I wanted more of that. So Realise Fitness was born in about 2003, and it's a company that it's all about health and fitness, and we work with people, like I say, personal training on one-to-one levels, in couples, in groups, and we've been teaching classes for a lot of years there as well. And it's been 20 years. So I've worked with hundreds of people over those 20 years, helping them get into the shape they want to get into. Many years ago, I went through a phase where every single new PT client, it was all, I want to lose weight and get into shape. Lose weight and tone up. They were the key things. I think people, as people have, their understanding's probably got more. And I suppose my demographic, my customer has sort of grown up with me. It's a bit more than that now. Like I say, I think movement is a big thing. Just being able to get up and off the floor a bit easier and having strength, more functional strength that can transfer over into everyday life. So things have slightly changed with that. And along this journey, I've obviously been on socials for over 10 years. So I've got my Facebook and Instagram page. But leading on to the podcast, how am I here now? So in terms of, I I think socials at the minute, it's very difficult. Socials are trying to get you, especially as fitness professionals, they're trying to get us to produce content that's 30 seconds long, 60 seconds, 90 seconds at most. And you've got to engage and capture somebody in that time. And it doesn't give you a lot of time to give, in my opinion, quality content. So I've been looking at podcasts over the past couple of years. I enjoy listening to podcasts myself. I walk into work most days, and it's a half an hour walk in. So I can get even like a Joe Rogan podcast. I can get that done over 2 or 3 walks into work. And I think they're a great platform, great format, and they work better for me, so I can actually talk a bit more, go into a bit more detail into whatever topic I'm talking about. So that's why we've looked to start this podcast. We're looking for it to be enjoyable, fun, enjoyable. I want people to, enjoy listening to it. But we're going to cover sort of everything health, fitness, diet related. We're going to talk diet, we're going to talk exercise, we're going to talk movement, activity, sleep, mindset. Mindset's massive. And they're my most enjoyable ones. I can't wait to record. I think we all sort of know roughly what we should be doing, but a lot of us just don't do it. So the mindset behind that, the mindset behind making the changes, making those changes a habit and turning up day after day and implementing them. So they're what we're going to cover. And like I said, listening, I want the podcast to be sort of, 15, 20 minutes long, maybe 30, but bite-sized chunks that you can go out for a walk and listen to me for 15, 20 minutes. You can pop me on in the car on the way to work, or, while you're potting around the house, pop me on. But the big thing is, I want there to be always a couple of points that, take home points from each episode. So once you've listened, I want you to literally be able to go off and implement some of the stuff you've learned in that podcast. That's the key thing. And that's what we're going to be striving to do over the course of however many years we do this. So I hope that's given you a bit of background. I hope that's got you excited to start listening to what we're going to start filming. And it's going to be great to have you along for the journey. Enjoy. Take care, guys.